Hey everybody, Shane with 3MGTV, and today we're continuing with our chord videos.
What are we doing today?
In the last video we talked about how to make chords sort of out of nothing, how to make something a major chord and how to make a minor chord, and so on and so on. But that didn't really have anything to do with what key you're in or have any relevance to a scale. So today we're going to talk about which chords in a key are major and minor and diminished under like the most basic circumstances and why that is. So today we're going to be in A again. So A across the bottom, and the short answer here is the 1, 4, and 5 chord, meaning the A, the D, and the E are going to be major. 2, 3, and 6 are minor, and 7 is diminished. So, why is that? Well, you may have noticed in the last video that I was kind of doing on my fingers. 1 for A, 2 for B, 3 is C, and then we know C sharp because we're in A, and so on and so on. You can always do that. Each scale degree gets a letter, always. So, if we go through and we say A, B, C, and then we check the key we're in, and we see our C for a major chord needs to be C sharp, then that tells us if both directions. If we already knew that 1 was going to be major, then that confirms it. If we weren't sure if it were going to be major or not, then we now know, because we're only going to use the notes that are in the scale of the key that we're in. And that's how this stuff works a lot of the time. When you get into altered scales, you get into altered chords. But that's another video entirely. So, going back through, A, B, C. When we get to 3, we find that we have a C sharp. So let's bump up to the 2 chord. Now I already said that this one's going to be minor, but let's prove it. So, B, C, D. Now, if we were to go and put B major across the bottom, when we get to D, we're going to see that we have a D sharp. So, now we know, back from our formulas, 1 flat 3 5 is a minor chord, and that's what we have here. And it goes like this all the way through. Now, when we get to 7, when we get to G sharp, you can do it like this. You can say G, A, B, C, D, and then you apply the same thing. So our G is going to be a G sharp, and then we're going to end up with the other two. And that gives us a diminished chord, as you'll be able to tell from your chord formulas. That 7 diminished, you don't get very often in like your standard diatonic chord progressions, which is what we're talking about. So most of your pop music, a lot of your country music is going to use this kind of stuff where the 1 is major, the 4 is major, the 5 is major, and then 2, 3, 6 are minor, and then you have the diminished one that is not going to come up very often in normal circumstances. And if you remember that, then you can cut your guessing down quite a bit. And if you aren't sure about a key, then you can make your major scale and figure it out. I hope that made sense. Let me know if it didn't. I'll explain some more if I need to.